Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So now that the Chris Chibnall era has officially ended with the power of the Doctor, there are still a few unanswered questions. One of them being just where does Jo Martin's Fugitive Doctor take place in a Doctor's overall timeline? Many fans, myself included, had always assumed that she was one of the many pre-Hartnell Doctors that the idea of the Timeless Child had introduced, but after watching The Power of the Doctor, I'd started to doubt that a little bit. You see, when a hologram of her confronts the Master along with Yaz and Vinda, she mentions what the Master was like at the Academy, saying, "But then you were a rubbish schoolboy too." And that wouldn't make much sense if she was pre-Hartnell, given that the Doctor and the Master didn't go to the Academy together until early on in the first Doctor's life. Now maybe I'm looking too much into this and maybe this has a very simple explanation. Perhaps this hologram has all the memories of all the known Doctors, regardless of which one it shows, so maybe she just happens to remember what the Master was like at the Academy because she has the first Doctor's memories. Or maybe this is an indication of where her incarnation is in the overall chronology. Maybe she could be between the second and third Doctors, given that that's the only sort of gap in a Doctor's first regeneration cycle that we don't know much about. We already know about the War Doctor being between 8 and 9 of course, and that 10 regenerated twice, keeping the same face on one of those occasions. Maybe the 11th Doctor was wrong when he thought that 10's 2 regenerations counted as separate ones. Maybe he had used up another life as the Fugitive Doctor? Could that even be possible? Well, it's not impossible, but I'm not too sure about it. After all, most other evidence seems to pretty much back up the idea that the Fugitive Doctor is a pre-Hartnell Doctor. She was around during the end of the Dark Times, which was confirmed in Once Upon Time. The Dark Times, for those of you who may not know, were essentially a period of chaos and destruction early on in the main Doctor Who universe. Whilst it's not impossible that she could have used her TARDIS to travel back to this time and could therefore come from much later on, I don't think this is very likely. She was working for the Division at this time, and again it could be possible that the Division recruited her even though she's from later on, but I just doubt this is the case. According to the Titan comic Untitled, released for Free Comic Book Day 2022, the Fugitive Doctor was essentially the first incarnation to visit Earth. This also served as a prequel for her comic miniseries called Origins. And even in The Power of the Doctor, when she walks in and the Master asks who she is, she responds by asking who he is. Admittedly, this could be more of a snappy comeback to the Master's query, but even so. In short, it's really hard to tell just where the Fugitive Doctor fits into the overall picture of Doctors, but I'd probably still lean more to her being a pre-Hartnell Doctor than a Doctor between 2 and 3. After all, most of the evidence still points to her being pre-Hartnell, and even if she was between 2 and 3, I think that would kind of ruin the mutual teasing between the second and third Doctors in the 3 and 5 Doctors respectively, but that's just my opinion anyway. And before anyone says, but what about her TARDIS being a police box? That doesn't mean that she couldn't still be pre-Hartnell. It might be that her TARDIS and the main one are one and the same, with it getting stuck as a police box earlier than we originally thought. After all, we know that the TARDIS was in a repair shop when the first Doctor stole it. Maybe he subconsciously chose the same one that he'd already used for multiple previous lives without even realising it. So that would explain why the chameleon circuit would get stuck as a police box again in An Unearthly Child, as it was still undergoing repairs when the first Doctor stole it. And the TARDIS is implied to be an older model anyway, type 40 to be exact, so it's certainly plausible that the Fugitive Doctor and potentially various other pre-Hartnell Doctors used it. But anyway, so there's my thoughts on just where the Fugitive Doctor is in the Doctor's overall chronology. I hope it wasn't too confusing and that you all liked it. But what are your thoughts? Do you think she's a pre-Hartnell Doctor or not? Please let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Please don't forget to press that subscribe button below, as well as press the bell icon at the side of it so that you'll stay notified of when all my new videos come out. This channel currently has 663 subscribers as the time of writing and recording this video, but once we get to 750 then I'll rank every single season, from William Hartnell to Jodie Whittaker. Also please rate and comment below your thoughts on all of this, and I will see you all in another video. So until next time, bye bye.